What's poppin', y'all? A little while back, I made a video on why Meek Mill should stop tweeting. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out on the top right cards. But it was mainly about him criticizing record deals and labels when he hadn't had any successful artists under his own. But it was only last summer that he officially made the Dream Chasers Rock Nation joint venture label, and when I looked into who he signed under that entity, I was shocked to say the least. And the title is exactly that. If you like analysis videos on hip-hop and the music business, then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I don't know if we hit 100K by the time this video goes up, but subscribe anyway. And thank you if we did. The rapper's name is IOU.T.A, and his biggest song is Everything King Turk, that's at nearly 1 million views right now. In the music video, the intro is from a news broadcast, and after hearing the song, it sounds like someone Meek Mill would sign from the style. But I was more interested in checking out how real the story was, or if it was just something he exaggerated, and it is 100% real. The rapper's real name is Calvin Fluellen, and he's from South Linden, Ohio. His mom's basement was where he and a couple of friends would get together almost every day to hang out and have fun as teenagers, do some rapping, play some games, all of that. One night, unfortunately, the usual four were hanging out together, and Tarico, who was Turk, and 14 years old at the time, got into an argument and a little scuffle with Calvin, aka IOU.T.A, the rapper, who was 16 years old. He pushed me and I pushed him back, and there was a gunshot, Tarico said in a strong voice at Nationwide Children's Hospital. At that point, his family thought he'd recover. He died just after 11 p.m. on the day he was shot. Calvin told her the shooting was an incident, Fluellen said. That's what she told Henry when the two women spoke briefly. She can't tell me nothing that I want to hear, Henry said, which was Tarico's mother. She doesn't feel betrayed or angry, she said. I just want to know what happened. I just want to know the truth. On the day he turned 17, Ricky Walton held his cousin as he bled. He was one of the kids that was in the basement. Ricky said in a recent interview that he was walking out of the basement when he heard the crack of the gun. He turned around, saw Tarico bleeding, saw a gun on the ground, and looked back toward Calvin's face. He looked shocked, Ricky said. That's the reason I thought it was an accident. Now he's not as sure. I can't really say it was an accident or on purpose, he said. Ricky was in the basement when Columbus police arrived. He was charged with the delinquency count of carrying a concealed weapon. He said he picked up a .25 caliber gun that had fallen from Tarico's pocket, and police caught him with it. Ricky was one of the other teenagers that was in the house. There was a total of 4, and in the beginning they tried to hide the weapon, and Turk didn't die instantly, like it said in the article, which is why he was able to tell what happened before he went to the hospital and eventually died. IOU.T.A.'s defense was that he didn't know the gun was loaded when he pointed it at him and shot him. But damn, that's just insane. Moving forward, IOU.T.A pled guilty to a delinquency count of reckless homicide, which could have had him serving up to 5 years. He dodged a bullet though, because originally he was charged with the delinquency count of murder, but after he agreed to plead guilty for the gun and reckless homicide, the prosecution withdrew their request to move him to an adult court, for which he would have likely been doing a lot more time. After pleading, he was sentenced to a minimum of 18 months in the juvenile prison system, which was really one hell of a deal for what happened that night, and he already got credit for the 6 months he served in juvenile detention after he was arrested and awaiting his sentencing and the court process. Depending on his behavior, he could have had to serve up to 5 years being released when he was 21, but he was released after spending about 2 years and got into some trouble once again for improper handling of a firearm and had to go to county jail. But while he was out on bond, he decided to really try and turn his life around and got into boxing. He was 20 years old at this point, around 2017. We was playing around with it for a second though, like we weren't really serious, said Fluellen. We just go 2 days out of the week, come back. Most of my friends are smokers, so they were never going to last in the first place. Today, boxing is a serious pursuit for Fluellen. He practices at Douglas for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. The sport keeps him cool, soothes his temper, and reinforces an important lesson for daily life. You can't fight mad. If you're mad, it's like half your body stops working as good, said Fluellen. If you're like, it's helping you out when you get mad, like, oh, I'm going to knock him out now, that's because it's wishful thinking. But for real, when you're mad, half your body shuts down. For real. So far, it's mostly been win for Fluellen in the ring with a 6-0 record in his early boxing career. He heads into Saturday's showcase as a confident dude, but one who knows he can't fight mad. I'm 6-0 and I've got 5 KOs, and one fight only went to districts. And that's because I was mad that whole fight, said Fluellen. But the rest of my fights, I was cool and collected. It was straight KOs. So that's how I know for sure, like being mad and all that is no help. That's like in life. Being cool and calm will help you think more and do what you need to do for real. At some point, he must have transitioned from the boxing into making music seriously and rapping, which is working for him since he got signed to Meek Mill and has built himself a fan base. It's quite the change and one crazy story that he turned into a song where you can really hear the pain. Imagine being 16 years old and accidentally killing one of your best friends that you would hang out with and play every single day. And on top of that, having to go to prison. You have to deal with not only being locked up, losing your freedom, and all the hardship that comes with that, but also the guilt of knowing that you're responsible, even if it was an accident. I'll believe him when he said he was having dreams about it. I can't imagine how I'd feel in that situation. Did you know about this rapper before? Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Peace.